Hey guys, what's up? Kelvin here. Today we're going to be looking at EIGRP route summarization as a continuation of our CCNP route summarization series once again. But last video, we looked at EIGRP auto summarization and the potential pitfalls that using auto summarization brings in. Today we're going to be looking at manual summarization and how that gives us a lot more granularity and flexibility over how we do our summarization. Now, if you haven't seen that auto summarization video, I highly suggest that you go look at that video. I'll have a link in the description down below if you want to go check it out. If you haven't watched it yet, I would highly recommend that you do so before going on with this video. Furthermore, if you are going on with this video and you don't understand route summarization, then you should check out the CCNA level route summarization video that's also in the description below, and I'm going to have a GitHub link for the manual summarization part of this on my GitHub. Link to that is in the description below as well. So I've gone ahead and reset the topology to the non-summarized state. So we can see here if I do a show IP route on router 2, we can see that all of the networks are back in their full glory. If I do a show IP EIGRP topology, you can see that all of the networks are listed, no summarization happening at all. So with manual summarization, let's start from R1. So R1's networks are the 50 networks right here. So these 8 networks start with 50, and then 1.0 to 3.0 for the 172.16. So we can go into, firstly, the interface config, because in EIGRP, when we're doing manual summarization, it is done from the interface. If we recall from the OSPF and BGP videos, in OSPF and BGP, you do it from the routing protocol process configuration, aka router OSPF1 or router BGP AS number. So here we're going to do it from the interface. So on R1, the interface that's leading to the router that we want to summarize to. Let's say that this is R2 in this case. So I do config T, it's going to be int G00.12. And the command for it is IP summary address. You can see that this is the command you would use for either EIGRP or RIP. So in this case, we're doing EIGRP. Following this is your AS number. Following this is the actual summary address, the supernet address. And so you can see here you have multiple ways of putting it in. You can either put it in using the CIDR notation, so the network ID / number of ones, or you can put it in using standard dotted decimal notation. So in this case, I'm going to put it in using CIDR notation because I'm lazy. So we're going to summarize the 50 networks first. So 50.0.0.0/29. And we'll come back to this leak map feature later, but for now I'll just hit enter. And you can see we're, again, like I said in the last video about auto summarization, whether you're doing auto summarization or manual summarization, whenever you change your summarization settings, EIGRP will bring down the relationship and bring it back up. So if I hit end and go back to R2, and we're going to do a show IP route EIGRP, we can see that everything for the 50 network got summarized down to the /29. You'll also notice if I do a show IP route here that we have this EIGRP route 50.0.0.0/29 is a summary. Like I mentioned in one of my other videos, I'm going to have another video coming on what this summary no-zero route does, so watch out for that. I just wanted to point out to you that it's there. I'm not going to get into too much detail about what it is, but in short, it's for loop prevention. Again, I'll get into more detail in a later video. Now, that's it for EIGRP manual summarization. We've just done it. It's very similar to the BGP aggregate address command. There's actually a lot of continuities between the two commands. Let's go ahead and summarize for the other networks. So in this case, we have 172.16, 1.0 to 3.0 rather. So the best way to summarize that is with the /22. So I'm going to go over here back to the interface. I'm going to say IP summary EIGRP 100. And then in this case, I'll just do it in a dotted decimal format just to show you that you can. So 172.16.0.0. And then IP network mask 255.255, 252.0, if I recall correctly, that's a /22, yep. hit enter, and it's gonna bring up and down the agency again. If I do a show IP route EIGRP, we can see that we do indeed have a 172.16.00/22 summary route. So you can see that both of our summary addresses, if I do a show IP EIGRP topology, we can see that we do have those two routes in the IP EIGRP topology table of router 2. And if I go to router 3, because this is a distance vector protocol, if I do a show IP route here, because router 2 is advertising it onto router 3 consequently also has those summary routes. So that's it for the basics of EIGRP manual summarization. Now there's one thing I didn't want to touch on, and it's this command right here, this command parameter rather, this leak map parameter. It's present in EIGRP in two main locations. The first location is, well, here, right? Leak map for summary suppression. The second thing that it's used for, just to put it out there, is EIGRP stub routing. So being able to leak routes through stub routers. Now, of course, I don't want to get into the specifics of stub routing here since it doesn't really relate to summarization, but I just wanted to point out another place where you might see a leak map. So, because EIGRP's default behavior, unlike BGP, so I'm drawing a contrast between EIGRP and BGP here. So with BGP, as you saw if you saw that video, if not, there's a link in the description below or in the playlist for route summarization. With BGP, the default behavior is if you type in aggregate address, blah, 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 without the summary only command, it will advertise the summary alongside the more specific routes. This isn't necessarily useful if you're trying to cut down the routing table usage because you're not replacing those specific routes with the summary route, you're just advertising the summary route alongside them. EIGRP's behavior is the direct opposite. EIGRP will block everything in terms of the specific routes that are being covered by a summary, unless you go in and manually specify that shouldn't do that. And the way that you do that is by using a leak map. You're leaking routes through the filter, in a sense. So that's why it's called a leak map. So a leak map refers to a route map. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to create an ACL here that refers to the IP addresses of the routes that we want to leak through, that we want to allow, that we don't want EIGRP to suppress, and then have a route map match on the ACL and refer to that route map in a leak map. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go into the global configuration mode. I'm going to enter access list configuration mode by saying IP access list, and I'll say standard ACL just because I don't want to do an extended ACL right now, so standard, and we'll give it a name, EIGRP test, and that's it. And then we'll say 10 permit, and then I just need to specify the network ID, or the IP address rather, of the route that we're trying to allow through. So in this case, let's say that we want to allow the first two routes through. So I'm going to say 50.0.0.0 and then use the wildcard bits of 0.0.0.1, which will basically allow for the last bit to vary in order for it to match this particular ACL statement, so meaning that it will permit 50.0.0.0 and 50.0.0.1, which in this context means that the route map will return true for these routes, which means that EIGRP will leak it through. So let's go ahead and do that, and we're good there. And I'm going to make a route map by the same name, EIGRP test permit 10, and then I'm going to match an IP address 1, or rather IP address test. That way it matches the ACL, and we're good there. If I do a show IP access list, you can see there's some lingering access lists from some other earlier videos, but here is our EIGRP access list. If I do a show route map, we can see we're looking for EIGRP test, and we've got our sequence 10, our match clauses there, such, etc. So if I go up here and I say config T router EIGRP, or actually no, interface config, I'm sorry, G00.12, and I say IP summary address EIGRP 50.0.0.0/29, and I say leak map EIGRP test. Oops, I forgot to specify my AS number. We can see again the neighborship went up and went down because we changed the summary settings. And now if I go over here to show IP route on router 2, we can see that yes, indeed, we have our /29 summary route that we configured using the IP summary adjust command, but we also have these more specific /32 routes that we leaked through using our leak. So that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for our EIGRP route summarization coverage and our coverage on the 3 protocols that we're going to include in our CCNP route summarization series, OSPF, BGP, and EIGRP. I may do a video for RIP, as you saw there was a command for RIP there, but I'm probably going to do it as a joke. So anyway, if you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button down there, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new uploads. Check the description down below for any links to videos and the resources that I recommend, like the GitHub link to the configurations for this lab. If you have any comments, any feedback that you want me to hear, I love hearing from you guys. I love hearing feedback. Even if you just want to say hi, I don't care. Just go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section down below. I will try to get to as many of you as I can. And with that being said, I will see you in the next video. Until then, more Cisco. Bye for now.